Hello everyone, good afternoon all. Today what we are going to discuss in 12th chapter, that is the first chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And before starting this chapter, we will be seeing that introduction part of this and scientist, which is given in introduction of this. Next page we will be seeing a scientist introduction also. And after that we will be moving there. And before the starting unit, this chapter, we'll see the question paper analysis of past 10 years. So there you can see that this is the weightage of the last 10-year analysis. So if you check in the last year, there are 4 questions, not 4, actually it is 5 questions. So the 5 questions has been asked from this chapter, and before last year it is of 3, and before that it is of 4. So if you see that, so always there is a maximum weightage for this chapter. So it has got lot of importance there. So no need of negligence here, and it is the very easiest chapter to score very good marks in 12th Neet, especially of this chapter. It is the easiest to understand, and where you can score very good number of marks from here in this chapter, especially this chapter. So we'll start with the session there. So it is of past 10-year analysis. There you can see there 4, 5, 3, 6. So there are every year there are minimum number of questions has been asked. So no need, don't neglect this chapter, and it is a very one of the easiest chapter where you can score very good number of marks in this without losing even a single question also. And there is a question paper analysis, like a topic wise analysis also we have did here. So topic wise analysis, in the sense the chapter has been divided into 5 different subtopics there. So if you check there, so from this pre-fertilization and structure and events, from the 35 questions has been asked. So it is a past 10 years. And next, double fertilization, 3 questions has been asked, and post fertilization events, that is 14 questions has been asked. So this is analysis, topic wise analysis of this chapter we are seeing here. And next we'll start this session. So here unit 4, starting of 12th chapters, 12th biology topics. So unit 6 we will be starting from this, because already 5 units has been completed in 11th standard. So you can see there living world is there, where diversity of living organisms we will be seeing there 4 chapters, that is living organism, living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, that which will be covered in first unit. And second unit, that is structural organization and in animals and plants, that is plant anatomy, morphology of flowering plants, and structural organization in animals. So that is the second unit. And the third unit is cell unit, cell the unit of life, biomolecules and cell cycle and cell division we will be seeing that. This is the third unit. And the fourth unit is plant physiology, where photosynthesis in higher plants, respiration in plants, and plant growth and development. 3 chapters you already completed in plant physiology there, that is the fourth unit. And the fifth unit is human physiology, like breathing and exchange of gases, body fluids and circulation, locomotion and movement, neural control coordination there, chemical coordination. So there, that is the fifth unit. So 12th class, we are going to begin with this unit number 6, that is reproduction here. And this unit reproduction has 3 chapters here, that is, one is sexual reproduction in flowering plant, and the second is human reproduction, and the third is reproductive health. So here, coming to this, in this unit, what they are going to say, what we are going to learn from them, so that those chapters that we will be seeing in this. So as you know that, what is reproduction? Can anyone tell me that? If you are watching, then just a comment down that what is reproduction there. So what is the meaning of this reproduction? So here reproduction is nothing but giving birth to the young one. So this is nothing but giving birth to the young individual organism there. New organisms has been produced, reproduced. Re means again, producing in the sense that new individual is formed. So that is nothing but reproduction. So in reproduction, we will be seeing two different types. You might be knowing that. That is, one is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Two types we will be seeing. So in this, asexual reproduction includes, that is, only single parent will be involved in this, and the one single parent will be involved in this reproduction process. Either they will be undergoing fission, budding, or fragmentation. That is asexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction in the sense where two parents are involving, and the fusion of gametes will be taking place. That is the sexual reproduction. And one more difference here is, in asexual reproduction, there is no much variations are seen. No much variations are seen here. If you see in sexual reproduction, we will be seeing some variations. Variations in the sense, differences. See, we look exactly similar to our parents, like our mom and dad, because that is due to the sexual reproduction where the fusion of gametes has been taken. And there is one more thing also. Not only we look similar to the parents, there are some differences also. We don't look exactly like the parents. If we are a male, we don't look exactly like father. If we are female, we don't look like exactly like mother. So that term, that difference is nothing but variation. So in sexual reproduction, variations we can see there. But in asexual reproduction, no much variations or no such variations are seen. So where the offspring will be exactly like a copy of that. Offsprings are clones or exact copies. That is the another differences of sexual and asexual reproduction there. And in the beginning of the unit, what we are going to learn, that is the introduction, what they have given is, reproduction is the vital process which helps us to continue to the longevity, means where if we are existing, human species are existing today, it is because of reproduction. If there is no reproduction, there will be no humans. So reproduction is the vital process where it will be used for to continue the generation, of the next generation, the giving birth to the young one. So that's why reproduction is considered as vital process. So this reproduction, it helps us to continue the generation. So it is the vital process to continue the generation. If species are existing today, the species are alive today, it is because of this process there. So this vital process, why we are calling it as vital process? Because species existence for longer time or for longer period. So it is due to this species existence is due to the vital process. Why we are calling reproduction as a vital process? Because it is making the species to exist. Today, as a humans, we are alive in the sense, it is because we have born from our parents. That is to continue the generation, reproduction is considered as vital process there. So it is another aspect what we will be seeing in that unit introduction there. So in this reproduction, if there is a species, see, I said that reproduction is the vital process which is helping us to continue the generation, I am saying. But there are some species which already dead, like dinosaurs. Take example of dinosaurs. So dinosaurs, they are dead now. They are not existed. So you might get a question there. So what happened to dinosaurs? Even they are reproducing in the sense of giving birth to the young one. So baby dinosaurs are born. So then how they become extinct? So in today's era, in today's generation, we cannot see the dinosaurs. We can see the lion, tiger and all, but why can't we see the dinosaurs? Because they got extinct. Extinct in the sense there is no species alive on this earth now. What made them to extinct? So there are two aspects we will be seeing there. The two aspects are, that is, one is natural disasters and anthropogenic disasters. Natural disasters in the sense where naturally it got extinct due to the some hitting of asteroids to the earth planet. So due to that they got extinct, they got died completely. Natural exist this extinction, we can say that. So anthropogenic in the sense, anthropo means this word indicates man. Due to the human activities, there are some species got extinct, like dodo bird is there, or stellar sea cow is there, or passenger pigeon is there. So all these organisms, they extinct, they died. There is no species. We cannot see the passenger pea now, the passenger pigeon now, because they extinct due to the anthropogenic. Anthropogenic in the sense, due to human activities, that bird got extincted there. So even they reproduce also, they got extinct due to the natural and anthropogenic activities. Or natural or anthropogenic extinction we call it as. So in introduction part we will be seeing about these things. Next we will be seeing about a scientist that his name is Panchanan Maheshwari. So P. Maheshwari or Panchanan Maheshwari. He was the one of the great scientists. You might be not heard about this scientist name, but why I am teaching scientist before starting the chapter, you might be getting a question there. Because if you see the previous year questions, there in last year itself, in 2025 itself, they asked a question from scientist named called Ramdev Mishra there. They asked a question from there. So that's why it is very important to learn about the scientist and his contributions to our science and all. So here, Panchanan Maheshwari, who was a great Indian embryologist. He is an Indian plant embryologist. Here embryologist in the sense, here embryo word you might be seeing first time. So embryology is nothing but study of structure and function of prenatal development. So you might be knowing sperm is there, egg is there, due to fusion of that zygote is formed. The zygote is formed from sperm and egg. This zygote will lead to formation of embryo. So this embryo till the new baby born, so that the stages and the development what we are going to study from embryo to the prenatal development. Prenatal in the sense before birth, that is prenatal development. So embryo to prenatal development. So embryo to prenatal development means before birth. Pre means before. So that natal means birth. We call it as natal or natality word. So here prenatal development, till that the developmental stages are there. No, that is included in the embryology there. Embryology is nothing but so the branch which deals with the study of structure and function of embryo and their development till the prenatal development, we call this as a embryology. So he is called as plant embryologist because the scientists who worked on the plant embryos and who worked on the pre-maturation of embryo and in laboratory conditions. And he received DSc degree, that is a Doctor of Science, and he also got an award from uh, Royal Society of London. So that we call it as FRS. FRS in the sense Fellowship of Royal Society of London. So it was one of the greatest honors which the scientists or biologists they used to get before. So that is Fellowship of Royal Society of London. They gave an honorary as an honorary contribution to the embryology. And when it comes to the plant embryology, what are the contributions he contributed in the sense? That is the plant embryology. You see the plant embryology, the contributions given by him. That is, one is artificial culture of embryo. Means in a laboratory condition, he cultured the embryo, that is artificial culture of embryo. And another thing is intra ovarian pollination. Means this line you might be not getting, but we will discuss that later. So intra ovarian pollination or fertilization, so that is given by him. So he was the first who worked on this ovary and tried to pollinate, means transfer of male gametes in the ovary. So that's why we named with the Indian plant embryologist or father of embryology also we call this, and even he is called as father of plant embryology. And next, he also prescribed NCERT, first NCERT book in 1964. He was one of the authors in the first prescribed NCERT book in the 1964. So it was other. He was the one person who wrote on this, and on his name there is a research center also of embryology research center is there. So we'll see what is given in your book. So far what we have discussed in this chapter is so in this unit, as I said, there are 3 chapters are given. So the 3 chapters we are going to study here: sexual reproduction in flowering plants, human reproduction, and reproductive health. And biology is nothing but a story of life on the earth. So it is nothing but a story of life on the earth. And there are several species which got threatened or extincted due to the natural or anthropogenic extinction. So the species got extinct because of natural, means through the natural it is occurring, and anthropogenic in the sense it is the man-made one. And reproduction is the vital process without which species cannot survive for long. So reproduction is the vital process which is making a species to survive for long. So that we have learned here. And the chapter name and what we are going to study, it is given, the details are given in below there. Next is about him, Panchanan Maheshwari. So here you can see that Panchanan Maheshwari rose become one of the botanists, and not only in India, throughout the entire world. And he got a degree from DSc, So he got a degree of DSc there, Doctor of Science, and some information is given so that we can read later. So he established the Department of Research, that is Department of Botany in University of Delhi, or a Center of Research in Embryology. So I said no. So that is in tissue culture. And initial days when he was working on artificial culture of immature embryo, he worked on artificial culture of immature embryo also, and intra-ovarian pollination and test tube fertilization. So his work on test tube fertilization and intra-ovarian pollination won worldwide acclaim. So he was honored with the fellowship of Royal Society of London. Here you can see FRS. So he honored with that one, and he gave a first NCRT 1964. So higher secondary schools published that NCRT first book, so which was given by Panchanan Maheshwari there. So it was about the contribution of him. So next we will be seeing so how the questions can be asked from this particular concept. So far we have read only two chapters, means only two concepts. It is only two paras we have read. So how the questions can be asked in the sense? See, assertion is there here, reason is there. Asexual reproduction reduces survival chance in changing environment they have given. And asexual reproduction does not generate genetic variation. Take time, try to comment the answer of this question, following question. Asexual reproduction reduces survival chances in changing the environment, and asexual reproduction does not generate genetic variation. First see whether the two statements are correct or not. Asexual reproduction reduces survival chance in changing the environment. If there is any change in environment, if there is any change in environment it takes place surroundingly, so that there are less chances, reduced survival chances they are saying. That is true. If there is no changes in there, much variations is not seen in asexual reproduction individuals, they cannot survive if there is any change in the environment. So that is true. So asexual reproduction does not generate genetic variation. So this is the statement which is correct also, which explains the A here. So why it explains A? I said no. If there is no genetic variation is in within the asexual reproduction individual organism. When there is no variation is occurring, so how can they survive? So it explains the A there. So it explains A. So both statements are true and it explains A. So this is how the questions are framed. So you need to see the question framing also. So next question, another one here. Sexual reproduction enhances the survival advantage of a species. That is true. So it enhances the survival advantage of a species. That is correct. Because when the species are sexually reproducing, at that time they will be undergoing changes according to the environment or surrounding. So it makes them to survive. They are having survival chances, high survival chances. And we'll see now. Sexual mode of reproduction enables creation of a new genetic variation. That is also correct. So due to that genetical variations, we can able to see that there are chances of high survivability when they reproduce sexually. So here, sexual reproduction enhances the survival advantage of species. That is correct. Sexual mode of reproduction enables the creation of new genetic variation. That is also correct. And whether it explains A or not, Before reading this statement, we read this one. So we already got the question why there are high chances of survivability there. So then we can say this explains A there. The next question, this which we have already discussed. Okay, how the questions can be framed here? You can see another one. NTA which frame the questions like from particular aspect is P. Maheshwari contributed to animal reproductive biology. Whether it is correct or not, like animal is given here. So just recall what we have discussed. So animal is given, so it is not. So Panchanan Maheshwari contributed to the plant reproductive biology, especially embryology. So it's not incorrect statement. He worked on test tube fertilization, whether it is correct or wrong. So we just see this. See, when we hear this word test tube fertilization, immediately we'll connect to the animal biology there. Oh, test tube fertilization, in vitro fertilization, which takes place in animals. So then sometimes there are chances of thinking that both are correct and it explains the other. So no, it's not. So he worked on test tube fertilization, that is correct. So the person here, he worked on test tube fertilization and intra-ovarian pollination of the plants, not of animals. So that's why reason is correct, assertion is false there. And there is another question is there. Who is associated with intra-ovarian pollination? So just now we have discussed who is the who worked on the test tube fertilization, the same person who worked on intra-ovarian pollination also. So this statement, it belongs to the Panchanan Maheshwari also. So their options will be given of 4 different scientist options will be given. There you need to choose that which of the following. And who is associated, that is correct. Panchanan Maheshwari is the person who gave intra-ovarian pollination and test tube fertilization also. So test tube fertilization by Maheshwari is related to, so there are 4 options are given there: human IVF, plant embryology, genetics and animal cloning. So you need to tell me that which of the following means test tube fertilization, whether it is related to the human IVF. See, this is where we will get confused. Because in reproductive health, we will be learning about this one, in vitro fertilization, but it is related to the human, no? So it's not about this one. So Panchanan Maheshwari, when he is talking about test tube fertilization, he worked on plant embryology there. So option B will be the correct answer. So this is how the question framing will be done in NCERT question base. So NCERT line by line you need to follow that, because you can see here. So from the just one para of scientist introduction, how the questions can be framed here. Assertion reasoning type, direct questions has been framed, or to confuse you, they can mix the concept of other chapter also. So that's why you need to be very careful here. So Panchanan Maheshwari is related to the plant embryology. Now coming to the sexual reproduction. So now half an hour has been completed. We have not yet started the chapter now. See, now you can see here sexual reproduction of flowering plants. So this, before that, sexual reproduction means what? So there is the involvement of both male and female gametes, means the fusion of male and female gametes will be there, and that is, we call it as sexual reproduction. And this sexual reproduction is divided into 3 different stages there. That is, we will be seeing the sexual reproduction into 3 different stages. So you might be knowing, so there is what do we call for a fusion of male and female gamete there, when sperm and egg fuses, the zygote is formed, no? That process is referred as. So you might be knowing that So that process is nothing but fertilization. Fertilization is nothing but the fusion of male and female gametes. That is fertilization. And before the fertilization, see now it is fusion of gametes, no? Before the fertilization, gametes are formed. The gametes are formed there. So that we call it as pre-fertilization event. So the structure and events which are forming before the fertilization event, we call this as a pre-fertilization event. So this sexual reproduction, it is divided into three substages or three events there. One is pre-fertilization and fusion of gametes, that is fertilization. After the fusion of gametes, what and all the changes and structures, events will take place. That is, we will be learning in post-fertilization event. That is post-fertilization. So the main sexual reproduction here, the sexual reproduction stages are, three stages are there. That is pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. The fertilization is nothing but we know that the fusion of gametes. And when it comes to this plants, we will be seeing a term called double fertilization. So that we will be learning in this concept. And before this fusion of gametes, gametes are formed. So that gamete formation that we will be seeing in pre-fertilization. So pre-fertilization is nothing but gametogenesis. Or genesis word is there, no? Genesis is nothing but the formation of gametes. So here the formation of gametes we will be seeing in pre-fertilization structure and events there. So this gametogenesis, there are two gametes are there, as you know, that is one is male gamete and female gamete. So male gamete we will be the formation of male gamete here. The formation of male gamete here we call it as microsporogenesis. The formation of female gamete here we call this as megasporogenesis. So that those two topics we will be reading in pre-fertilization event. One is microsporogenesis and the another one is megasporogenesis. So that is we will be seeing in gamete formation, that is gametogenesis. And before fertilization and before after gametogenesis, there is one more vital important process will be taking place, because due to these are not motile gametes, so they have to carry by someone else there or something else. So that gamete transfer is there now, that we will be studying as pollination. Pollination will be coming in between there. So after pollination, fertilization will take place. And post fertilization, after fusion of gametes, what are the structures we will be seeing, that we will be learning in post fertilization. And those structures are post fertilization, that is, see, as you know that already, you know that ovary is there. After fertilization, what it forms? So ovary is there. After fertilization, what it forms? So if you know the answer, you just comment down. I can see the answers here. So here, post fertilization, after the fertilization, ovary will turn into what? And ovule will turn into what? So here, yeah, you might be knowing that is there are students who knows the answer also. That is post fertilization. So the ovary will turn into fruit. So fruit formation will be taking place, and ovule will be turning into seeds, and the zygote will be turning into embryo there. And there is another term is there that you might be not getting now, but we'll be getting to later. That is endosperm. So these are the four structures we will be seeing after the fertilization, that is post-fertilization event. Seed formation, fruit formation, embryo formation, endosperm formation. So that we will be seeing that under the post-fertilization event. So it is the complete outline of the chapter here. That is, outline of the chapter is nothing but so it includes complete it will be in this whole chapter we will be seeing the same things what we have discussed in the introduction part. So the sexual reproduction is divided into three subphases: pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. In pre-fertilization we will be seeing about the gamete formation and gametogenesis, how the gametes are formed. If the male gamete is forming, then we call it as microsporogenesis. If the female gamete is forming, that we call it as megasporogenesis there. And next to that, due to that they are not movable, they are immovable. That's why they require something to uh, transfer the male gamete into female gametes. So that process we will be calling it as pollination. So after pollination, the fusion of male gametes is done and the female gametes is done. That is zygote formation. So zygote will lead to formation of embryo that we will be learning in post-fertilization event. So it is about complete about sexual reproduction chapter view it is. So now we'll start with this chapter now. So that how the flower is formed. So before that, sexual reproduction in angiosperms. So here, sexual reproduction in flowering plants we will be seeing. See, flowering plants in the sense, the plants which show the flowering or the blooming flowers there. So that we call it as angiosperms. So here in sexual reproduction in flowering plants, so that all these things will be learned. So we have discussed the sexual reproduction also, and we know that angiosperms, that is flowering plants also. So that is due to the sexual reproduction, there are many variations we are going to see in the nature, and those variations are very important for us. And it is a good thing we can say that we are blessed with the sexual reproduction, because it is leading us to make many variations where I can survive in the current world. See, it is like updating versions when they are undergoing reproducing sexually. So there will be updated version will be seen due to the exchange of genetic material. So it is the sexual reproduction. Next we are going to see flower. So when we talk about flower, so flower is used for what are the purposes we use the flower. So one is in general we'll be knowing. So flower is used for expression of feeling or some affection. So like to propose, that is for to propose someone will go with the flower there. So that is to express my love. That is flower is used. And if we are going for some funeral, grief, mourning, they use for that also. To show the affections towards the opposite person, we use flower as a symbol there. And flowers also used as ornamental plants. So where in different homes, gardens, parks, you can see there flowering plants will be used, isn't it? So the flowers are used for the ornamental purpose, and it is used for the aesthetic purpose. Aesthetic is nothing but the beauty one. So it is very beautiful. Flowers are beautiful. So it is the aesthetic uh, part of plant also, aesthetic or ornamental type, or we can use for the to show the affection also. So these are the different scenarios where flower will be used. And to show that, we should get a lot of flowers. Means we need a requirement of lot of flowers to show that, to use that in different scenarios. So there are many humans are existing and they require lot of flowers to express their feelings or affection, isn't it? So then how do we get those flowers of such in a high number? Naturally they cannot produce. So in such cases we cultivate the flower. So the cultivation of flower, as a crop, so we call this as floriculture. Floriculture is nothing but where flowers are cultivated in mass numbers to produce or to production of flowers in the form of field or crop. You can see that the cultivation of flower is floriculture there. And um, when we talk about flower with respect to the plant biology or botany or biology or science, we have to see with a different angle. So being a biologist or a scientist or a science student or a science teacher, so the flower is nothing but it is an embryological marvel. So it is nothing but it is a morphological and embryological marvel. Marvel in the sense wonder. So wonder, it is nothing but embryological wonder, because through that all the reproduction, everything is taking place. No? So that's why we call it as embryological marvel or morphological marvel, because it leads, we have studied already in morphology also. So how much importance this flower carries and what are the parts the flower is. So we will be seeing. So before that, we'll see some the structure of flower there. So which we have already discussed in morphology of flowering plants. See here, when we talk about flower, so it has the base of the flower. Here the base of flower is there, and to that there is a stalk is also there. Stalk is also there here. The stalk of the flower we call it as, yes, the stalk of the flower we call it as, see, this is stalk of the flower. This is the stalk of the flower, which we call it as pedicel or peduncle. So that is the stalk of the flower, and this is the swollen base of the flower, which we call it as thalamus or receptacle. So here this is nothing but thalamus or receptacle, and next to that what you are seeing, the outermost whorl, the outside part of that, when it is in budding stage, the flower is in bud stage, the outermost green color part, what we call that? It is a calyx. So this is calyx, where individual units or sepals there. And next to that, one more whorl is seen there. So another whorl is seen next to that. So that is to that, the word which we are seeing is, it is petal. It is petal there, or this whole unit we call this as corolla, and individual units are nothing but petal. Okay. So next to that, you will be seeing androecium. Then the third word here is androecium. Is androecium, male reproductive structure. And next to that, what you are seeing, it will be female reproductive structure, that is stigma. That is stigma and style and ovary, that is gynoecium. That is gynoecium. So these are the four roles we will be seeing there. So it is ovary and the ovary, style and stigma. So let's label this one here. So these are the parts of flower. So next to that layer is androecium, which is a male reproductive structure, the symbol we use for it. And the next to that, what we have seen, this one is gynoecium, is female reproductive structure. So out of this one, so there are four whorls are there. So out of these four whorls are there. The outermost two are there, no? This outermost two, that is calyx and corolla. These two are non-essential whorls, or accessory whorls. Or accessory parts or accessory whorls we call it. Next to that, the two are there, no? These are essential whorls or reproductive whorls we call it. So out of these four whorls, two are essential and reproductive whorls, and two are non-essential and accessory whorls. Accessory means which helps them to protect the reproductive whorls, that is accessory whorls. So in the flower, the structure what we have seen is, it is having four whorls. So four whorls is of so the two are essential and two are non-essential. So which are directly involved in reproduction, that is male reproductive structure. That is here you can see androecium and the gynoecium. So those two are reproductive whorls and two are accessory whorls there. So this is the structure of flower there. So next to that, how the flower formation will take place. The formation of flower, we will be discussing that here. The formation of flower, that we will discuss in the next class, how the flower is formed. It means, see, you might be seeing a plant where, so it is just a grown up plant here. A plant is there where flower is not yet formed. So it is the young plant, there is no flower is formed. Okay. So now coming to this plant will decide to make a flower there. So before the formation of flower, there makes a decision. The plants will make a decision. So in what form of decision? They don't discuss with the parents, friends, family and all. The decision will be done within themselves. So how, like structural and hormonal physiological changes will be taking place. Which means, so there will be, see, it is initially, it is what it is having. shoot apical meristem. Shoot apical meristem is there. That is shoot bud. So that shoot apical meristem or shoot bud, it has to transform into flower. So that decision will be done by the plant. They will send some signals to that. So they will send some signals through in the form of hormones. So we know that hormones are nothing but what? In human physiology we have learned, and even in plant physiology, plant growth and development, we have learned this. So hormones are nothing but what? It is a chemical messenger, or the chemicals which are present in plants which supply, which carry some information to make changes in the plants there. So it is the shoot apical meristem will turn into a flower. So to turn a flower, there is a structural and hormonal changes will be taking place. So there is a hormone called florigen which helps in flowering. So there are many hormones are included in flower formation there. That we will discuss in next class. And before that, I will give some schematic representation to this, how the flower will be formed. That continuation of that we will be discussing in next class also. See, shoot apical meristem is there. The shoot apical meristem will form shoot. So this will turn into a meristem, that is floral meristem. It is also meristematic. So you might be knowing that meristem means what? Meristematic means what? Meristematic is nothing but the cells which are continuously undergoing division. So the shoot apical meristem, it is continuously undergoing division. So if a plant decides to make flower, then internally the decision has been taken place now. So now this shoot apical meristem will get converted into floral meristem. Means before the formation of flower, the cells will be in a meristematic condition, which will be showing division. That is floral meristem. So there is no change has been done, but only change, it is a modification. So that is shoot apical meristem will modify into floral meristem. So this now floral meristem will undergo changes. It will undergo some structural and hormonal changes to make floral primordium. So to make floral primordium there. So here floral primordium in the sense, floral means you know that is a flower. So this, wait a minute. So it is floral primordium. Floral means flower, primordium in the sense initial structures. Before the formation of flowers, they make some initial structures. So you can just go and observe a bird, you will get to know that what are those initial structures. So that name we are calling it as floral primordium here. So then to make this one, there will be structural and hormonal changes will be taking place there. See, there is a change in structure also, and there is a change in cells also. So here structural and hormonal changes take place. And these changes is nothing but, see, you can connect to the topic of plant growth and development in differentiation topic. See, now conversion of meristematic cell into an specialized differentiated cell. See, now a meristematic cell is there. Now it will transform into an xylem cell, which is a function of water conducting. Then it got a job there. It lost the division capacity. So that process we call this as a differentiation. So this process we call it as a differentiation. So conversion from floral meristematic cell to meristematic cell into differentiated cell. So it is there we are calling it as a differentiation, where it loses the capacity of division, we are calling it as differentiation. And at the same time, structural and hormonal changes are taking place. So what are the hormones which are involved in flowering? You again go back to the plant growth and development, you will get to know there. So in plant growth and development, what you learn? The initiation of flowering is done by, yes, it is done by what? It is done by xylene. And the promoting of the flowering, the promotion of flowering will be done by auxin. So there is not only one hormone is included there, there are many hormones are included in formation of flower there. Okay, so there is a differentiation, floral primordium is formed. Now this floral primordium, will makes to form a bud there. Bud is formed, floral bud, or inflorescence also you can say. If it is single flower, it forms a bud. If it is not, it makes inflorescence. And inflorescence, once it is formed, immediately next to that it will form a flower there. So after the formation of inflorescence or bud, it will convert into a flower there. So this is how the formation of flower takes place. So to make a flower, it has undergoing lot of changes that we will be discussing like this. So it is a formation of flower which includes these many changes. Okay. So next class we will be seeing about how the flower is formed and what are the structures which are involved in that. That is related to the pre-fertilization and structure and events. So this pre-fertilization and structure and events, that we will be discussing in next class. Till that, goodbye. Thank you. Till that.